But I think it's important to know when you're dating, you should be able to have a few people that you can court. You know, cause I even heard
Sydney, shut up! You shouldn't be courting multiple people.
Courting is with the intentions of marriage.
Hey, what's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy KiteZz here with my lovely wife. It's just Alex.
What's up, peoples?
Hey, today we got Meet2Marry. They had their season 1 reunion. So we about to tap in. We actually enjoyed this series. Shout out to them. They be showing love on the channel. So, hey, shout out to them. Let's see how season 1. Let's see, man.
Let's talk about Meet2Marry and how it started. My story is a little wild. I started off a little boy in Far Rockaway, Queens. I was roughly 3 years old when my mother and father got a divorce. It's a little rough because, you know, being raised by a single mother in a household with a brother and a sister and not really having much money, not really having much funds to do anything. Never went to Disneyland, never really enjoyed what a lot of other children that I grew up with or around enjoyed, having a mother and a father in the household. So it was rough, and understanding what, you know, what I wanted to see from having the 2-parent household, the love, the connection, what family meant, what marriage meant, was something that I've always yearned for. So the only thing I really had.
I was laughing at the little boy me mugging.
Oh, I'm about to say,
I was
about to say, what's funny, gang?
It's television. Watching the Cosby Show, watching Full House, all the shows that you saw a mother and a father showing love to their children was something that I yearned for. But getting older, I wanted to search for love, right? I wanted to understand what it felt like to be with a woman, have my children, and grow a family. I was married prior, and prior to my wife now, that ended in divorce. So after that ended, I still didn't allow that to defeat me. I said I still want love, still wanted a family, still wanted a man, woman, child household. So that's something that I searched for. And I was so blessed to find my wife when I did. I met her, Queens. We grew up, like I said, both of us in a rough neighborhood. And we found each other. It was like two diamonds coming together. So me meeting my wife was definitely an unlikely way because we both grew up in the same neighborhood, but it was so crazy because I never really got a chance to meet her until I met her. And it was over. It's a similar story to, I say, like Kenny and Sara, the couple that got together off of us putting the show together. Man, we put them together. We set out a casting call, right? My wife and I, we was like, how can we get, you know, the models to get on this commercial that we're trying to show? Put out the casting call, it came together. We looked at them like, man, I see the chemistry. I see the chemistry, my wife saw the chemistry, and everyone on set saw it as well. And sure enough, before you know it, they were a match. Ever since then, they've been together, and here we are. Here we are to this day. So shout out to both of y'all.
Hey, shout out to them.
The goal is to help bring people together. The goal is to help people find love in unlikely places, places that you never would have thought you would have found your significant other. That is what Meet2Marry is about. When a person turns that corner and they see each other for the first time, is it love at first sight or is it not? So here we are. Welcome to the reunion of Meet2Marry.
That's good. That's a great mission statement. Again, okay, hold on. I gotta be careful because sometimes we be getting copyright on the music, so.
At the Cybertruck.
This one,
the pink,
yeah, the stank face.
Okay.
The stank face is crazy work. Okay, do your thing. Okay, they went all out.
That looks good.
right, she getting a lot of spotlight, gang.
Maybe the host. Oh, never mind. I'm lying. It's two hosts.
The host is.
Welcome to Meet2Marry Reunion Season 1. I am your host, Tanae Staley, joined with the cast from Season 1. So excited to be here. You all look good. Understood the assignment 100%. Yay. So listen, first of all, give yourselves a round of applause because 1, you look good, and 2, you did an experience, okay?
Okay, I was about to say, are we gonna get to see them?
Yeah, I think she might be like the third host, the one that asks them the questions in their green screen in the back.
Oh, okay. Shout out to I didn't know that was his wife, but shout out to the fact that it makes sense.
Oh yeah, I knew.
Yeah, hey, all love to y'all, man. All right, let's lock in. Let's see what y'all got going on over here, over yonder.
Really, really good. So if everybody don't know your names, I want you to go around, kind of just introduce yourself and say what episode you were on, okay? All right. Hi, my name is Maria. I was on episode 1, and yeah.
Hi, I'm Shay. I was on episode 2.
Hi, I'm Shantae, and I was on episode 1.
Hi, my name is Danielle, and I was on episode 3.
Hello, my name is Joker, and I was on episode 5.
Hello, my name is Charles, and I was on episode 1.
Hello, my name is Chris. I was on episode 2.
What's good, everybody? My name is Lo. I was on episode 5.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chris, and I was on episode 4.
My name is Sydney. I was on episode 3.
We know Sydney.
We know about you, Sydney.
Chantel. I was on episode 2.
Hey, y'all. I'm Erica, and I was on episode 5. Hi, everybody. My name is Ashley, and I was on episode 4.
Who let him keep the mic?
My name is Anthea, and I was on episode 5.
Hey, everyone. My name is Aisha, and I was on episode 3. Yes, I love it. So how was everybody?
Hey, but you know who ain't on this episode? Mr. Top Shelf himself. Yeah. They not letting him back or anything. That man was tweaking.
How you feeling today? You look great. Feeling good. All right, so you all did an amazing experience that a lot of people do not even have the guts to do. You went on a dating show. How crazy is that, right? So it was on YouTube, and you all got a lot of comments. That comment section was going crazy. I just want to go through some of the comments, and let's just talk about it, okay? So this is in regards to Charles. Charles loves fashion. I'm wondering what he thought about the ladies' fashion. Charles, we want to hear from you. What did you think?
He's thinking.
3 seconds. Everybody has their unique style. Everybody has their own fashion taste. So, I mean, everybody does what they do.
Okay.
And I do what I do, so.
I love it. Well, you look dapper today.
Thank you very much.
So this one was for Shantae. Lady number 3 didn't know that kayaking was a water sport. Ma'am, let's talk about this.
Yes, I've seen that comment. I do know it's a water sport, but I was talking about parasailing.
Okay.
So it's okay.
Okay. Y'all better get it together.
Hey,
all right.
All this is telling me when y'all go on this show, y'all better watch how y'all talking about people, bruh. Cause they clocking y'all tea, man. Hey.
So this one is for Chantel. Why even bother bringing that third guy on the show? He was giving off Pookie vibes. Did you? Did you see that? You didn't see that?
I did not. That's wild.
What are your thoughts?
It's wild. I mean, good gracious. Like, out of all things to say, like,
right,
it's a little bit more fly than that.
I got you. Okay, so moving on.
Give Pookie vibes.
This one is in regards to Shay. The guys all seem like quality men. I could tell she was really feeling Chris, so I'm glad he was feeling her too. Hope we get an update on them. Will we get an update later?
Yes, we will get an update.
Okay. Look, she's smiling. You were smiling when you said that one. All right. So, Shay, this is also for you. So, you believe in aliens?
I do.
Talk about that.
And if they could come pick me up. Wow. Okay.
Shorty. I have yet to see an alien movie besides E.T. or the Disney ones. It's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. They do not like us like you think they're going to like us, bro. We are not their homies. I'm going to let you know now.
Because it's looking real crazy these days, but we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. We're going to keep moving forward. But I absolutely do believe, I know Congress has said aliens do in fact exist. It's not just a belief of mine.
That's very true.
Yeah, because they live among us.
Yes.
It's a fact.
I digress. So Chris, they said you had on the vest though. Respectfully, what's going on?
I mean, I had on a vest.
Would you have changed up the attire a little bit if you had the chance to redo it, or is that just your thing? Is that your style?
So I wouldn't change up nothing. I wore what I wore because I wanted to wear it. So
There
it
you
was
go.
a bubble vest coat, and it is what it is.
There you go. I love it. You look nice tonight as
Appreciate
well.
it.
The puffer vest.
And then this one was just a comment. How did the relationships evolve since the show, which we will find out, of course? And what was the biggest challenge faced as the couples after the show? Again, we will get an update from everyone. This is also another comment. What has changed in the dating scenes? I do want to hear from you on that. And things to do and what not to do when getting into the dating scene. Anybody want to take that? What do you think has kind of shifted in the last couple of years?
I'm going to tell you now, if Sydney is the first person to speak on this microphone, I am skipping this entire segment. I'm being so real. It ain't no disrespect, but I don't want to hear nothing he got to say about the dating scene. I'm going to keep it a band.
Men, y'all want to take that one on?
Me personally, I just think that a lot of people, they have this thing like not settling. But I think everybody wants what they want and they don't want anything less, but that's not how relationships work in real life.
Mm-hmm. I got you. Question about that. Do you think that it's watered down in the sense of, do you think people are serious, not so serious these days? What do you think about that?
I have to agree. I do believe it's watered down. I don't think a lot of people are serious. They don't take people serious. I primarily feel like it's the looks, it's the attractions, and then everything else turns into lust. That's how I feel.
Yep. And it's social media fault because everything is just accessible. Everything is just, every girl got to look this way. Every dude got to look this way. Everybody got to be the same status. It's like, that's really what it is now. It is watered down because we're throwing too much of the same archetypes that everybody lusts after. And when somebody doesn't meet that, they could be the perfect spouse partner, but because they don't look like the eye candy that the world has taught us to all look after, we immediately write that person off.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I feel like all forms of media, play a part in it, because before we had social media, we had commercials and magazines and all that kind of stuff. So I believe all forms of media kind of swayed that, but people don't have their own personal opinions or values anymore either.
Anybody else want to comment?
Yeah, I'll take that too. In terms of intentionality, a lot of people think that they have more options than they really do, via social media, via whatever the reason, but they're not intentional with their time and things that they ask or don't ask.
I like that. So before we move on, and I'm going to get you all separated and we're going to go by episodes. Last question I do want to ask about that. There's a lot of dating apps now. So kind of like what you all did with coming on this show. Do you think that is a better way to, kind of break down what you're looking for rather than meeting somebody in person? Do you think the apps are better or in person? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts on that is, I think it depends on how much you go outside. Like, if you're not a sociable person, then the apps is probably one of the greatest outlets you can have. But I think we have to get out our comfort zone to just spread our options, basically. Yeah. So, yeah.
I think the apps have created an atmosphere where it gives you the thing that you can sit at home in a safe place of judgment and be like, oh, you're not good enough for me. You're not good enough for me. Oh, you are good enough for me. All while the person is doing the same critique to you, but you guys are doing this and you guys are not getting that face-to-face interaction. And so it gives you like this high and mighty thing of where like, if one of the people that you say, oh, that's my type, gives you that validation and they swipe back, you're like, oh, well, now that I pulled this anything below this ain't my standard. And then y'all swipe and swipe and swipe and swipe.
It's that feeling of instant gratification.
Yeah.
I never understood like the dating apps and stuff like that. Because I've always been the type of person like face to face, and I feel like in some instances the dating apps have coddled people's feelings, emotions, like self-worth and all that kind of stuff. It's one thing when you go outside and you date and you mix and mingle with different people. It's a humbling experience getting rejected in person versus online.
Yeah,
like you don't get that feedback from people that like, oh well, the reason why I didn't want to continue dating you was this, and this. But for the dating version of that, it's just ghosting people. They just don't even tell you.
Yeah.
Agree. I think the apps used to be good. I think when they came out, it's almost like, something you had the first time and it tastes good and you get it again, you're like, oh, something's missing. I think the apps did work and they had their purpose, but now there's multiple versions of apps, and there's apps for hookups, there's apps for this. Even the apps, you can change your location when you go to different places. So what is the point of that in a sense? I think you had that hookup in that city and you leave and it's back to life wherever it is. So I think the apps are now a game. It's a human Candy Crush. You just kind of swipe with no intentions of utilizing it, and it becomes very redundant to swipe.
That was good.
No, I'm glad she put that out, because it gets rid of the seriousness of the relationship, and it does become more of a hookup, to the point where even the apps nowadays, they like when I was watching the homies do it, it gives you 3 options: serious relationship, short-term relationship, or just a hookup. Yep. And it's like, okay, 2 of these things, short-term relationships and just a hookup, should already be like a red flag in people's minds. Because why are you hooking up with people with the anticipation of, oh, I only want to date somebody for 3 months? Like, that's crazy.
Then you don't need to date anybody. You don't need to be in a relationship. Just be a free mingling person. Like, I don't understand that.
Swiping, the mechanism of swiping becomes something more common. So I think they used to be good.
I love that. Yes. Girl, she broke it all the way down. Okay.
That was good.
That was very well said. Beautiful. I totally agree. Well, thank you all for being here. We are going to get into episode 1, and we're going to get all the tea. So stay tuned.
All right, sir. Mr. Dapper.
Is this just essentially like showcase the people on the episode?
Yeah, this is just episode.
Oh, they're just showing everybody's fit. Okay.
Yeah.
No disrespect. I'm not really interested in like. There we go.
You all look amazing. Thank you for joining me today. Looks like we may be missing one, and that's Jeff, but we'll keep the show rolling. So Charles, some of the viewers thought to be your age with no kids and never married was a red flag. So how do you feel about that?
I think it would be a red flag if I had a whole bunch of kids. To be honest with you, I think I did the most responsible thing. In my younger years, I knew I wasn't ready for marriage or for kids. So I dated women that were older than me, much older. So therefore, I wasn't reproducing, just to reproduce. So I just tried to do the most reasonable thing that I thought and still have, a dating life.
I love that. So you were being smart about it, I guess you would say. Do you want kids? I know you mentioned on the show that your time may be ticking, but do you still want them?
Who knows what life is going to bring? I can't say, I'm 48 now. Yeah, I'll be 49 in September. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'm cool. I mean, I can also adopt a kid,
Yes, you can.
That option's available too.
That's wonderful.
Okay.
Plus, he touched on something important. He said, I'm not going and using my younger years just making a whole bunch of kids. That's the problem now. I don't know why we start pushing this mindset of like, we say have your kids young, but we also say like, have your kids when you're like, when you get married. That's what we push.
Yeah.
You want to have your kids. I want to have my kids young just so I can experience more of that generation and the next generation.
Yeah.
But don't take the have your kids young saying as, oh, go have as many kids as you want and just fling it out there. Like, that's crazy work.
Yeah.
People be 22 with 4 kids. Like what?
And why is it such a red flag that he's 49, never been married, and doesn't have kids?
Because people think that because he's never been married or he hasn't had kids, that he's missed out on key pivotal points of his life. And if you went through 50 years of your life and nobody has tried to marry you, then that could say something about your dating and speculation. Not saying that that's what it really was, because he just said, "Oh, I was dating older women." So who knows how that power struggle was between the older women and him and towards marriage. You get what I'm saying?
Y'all need to stop throwing red flags on everybody all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. So Shantae, the viewers had a question for you. They wanted to know, where are you actually from? Where were you born?
Everybody wants to know.
Inquiring mind.
I was born in Germany, Stuttgart.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you moved around a lot, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's always been a tricky question for me, but yeah.
So Germany. Okay. So
Hey, shout out to Germany.
Shanika, I love the pink. You look amazing.
Thank
so definitely a 180 from the show. Speaking of that, the viewers were asking, were you in a rush? I guess the skirt was a little wrinkled. And then they asked, why didn't you steam the skirt, girl?
It's leather. How could you steam leather? You can't do that. That'll be a mess.
Yeah. So question, if you could choose a different outfit, would you still wear that outfit, or would you choose something different for the show?
I think, like, as I mentioned during the show, I'm very versatile depending on the setting and where we're going. So it was kind of like you're going on a date but not sure where. If it's a gala, then they'll do a gala. If it's dinner, then it's dinner. You just have to match the situation. And I think coming in, we were unsure of, what type of setting it would be. So I just went with what I like, my style, something funky, fresh. But they have to keep in mind, like, doing the settings, we're sitting and, different things. So wardrobes may malfunction, but it's a leather skirt, and I think it was fine. I got a lot of compliments. I got a lumberjack bay.
There you go, girl. I love it. And girl, them island vibes were popping. Okay, so I want to know more about this Trini Chef business and the juke joint. Okay, let's talk about that.
Absolutely. So Mommy Trini Eats, it derived from my mom. She passed away from cancer. But hands down, she was the best cook. She did a lot of cooking out here as well in Charlotte, so I just kind of continue on with that tradition. So we do a lot of Trinidadian dishes, curry chicken, stewed chicken, oxtails. We do steam snapper, everything. You call it. We just like the home cooked meal, like that we're accustomed to and grown up, and just kind of bringing that
shout out to
culture
Trinidad
here to Charlotte. I feel like Charlotte is missing a lot of that, so I just kind of bring that here.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love that. And did you mention the name and where they can find you?
Yes, absolutely. You can find me at Mommy Trini Eats on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all platforms. If you look up Mommy Trini Eats, it's spelled MAMEETRINIEATZ LLC. It's my first LLC.
Okay. Yes, we'll have to check
support
that
black
out, girl,
business.
'cause I'm a foodie. Okay, big bad. I love to eat. All right,
to.
so Charles, the tea. We want to know what happened with you and Maria. Did you actually date? And if not, what happened?
Do you want to answer this, or?
Yeah, it's up to you. I can.
I'll let her answer if she chooses to.
Oh, you just gave us an answer without giving us an answer. Now we know that things didn't go right.
All right, so when me and Charles matched, we began talking, and he told me his last name. And I was like, that name sounds familiar, that last name. And
please don't be what I think it is. Please don't be what I think it
see
is.
the nose and the forehead. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
asked him, did he have a brother? And he said, yeah. And I was like, is your brother named blank blank? He said, yes. And I knew his brother for 10 years before even meeting Charles. My kids were like babies when I met his brother. And we never really got anywhere. We just always maintained friendship. So with that being said, I just stepped back and he agreed. But we're still cool. We still text. We still chat. He invited me to his house for a movie night with some of his friends. Charles is a great guy. And it's just out.
Wait. So you didn't even have a relationship with the brother? So what? I don't know if that's a valid I mean, so you knew his brother for 10 years, but you never took it to that level with his brother. So y'all was just homies.
Possibly. Everything don't need to be said on the internet, but possibly.
Right. Unless, because that leaves the mind to speculate. Either A, something happened with the brother, and that's why y'all can't date, or B, I don't. Do you think
respect, or it just feels weird? Like
I don't know. I don't know. Sure. I don't feel like that's valid. But okay. I mean, I don't know all the details, but that just doesn't seem like a valid reason not to date somebody.
Hey, listen, at least they not related.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
I just don't feel like that's a valid. Like, you were just friends with the brother, unless y'all was doing something more, and y'all didn't consider yourselves a relationship, and so it would be awkward. But I don't know. Somebody explain that to me. I don't think that's a justifiable reason to not date somebody.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
I understand.
I'm just trying to put wrap my head around it, basically.
Yeah. I know his brother, so no. We don't brother hop over here.
Interesting. Okay, so it definitely is a small world, as they would say. So despite that, or in spite of that, Charles, do you still think that Maria is an ideal woman that you would date potentially if the circumstances were a little bit different?
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, we still keep in contact. She's been over to the house and for a movie night. And yeah, I mean, just keeping in contact with her, getting to know her. Yeah, she's definitely a person that I would date,
Were you disappointed just a little bit?
I had just met her, so it's like, no, I didn't really, my expectations weren't too high just for like meeting somebody for the first time.
That's fair. So Maria, I know we talked a little bit, and I know you have done a 180 and kind of did some self-reflecting since the show. The comment section was a big deal for you. So talk about that and what happened after the show internally.
Yeah, that was a tough one for me. I create my own content. I create YouTube videos. I do Instagram. But I've never gotten negative comments, and that really did throw me off. When I saw the negative comments, it just really set me back a lot. And also just meeting Charles and finding out his brother is my best friend. And then also, just everything about that show just opened my eyes to the fact that my single season is now, and I need to use this season not just to work and come home and do nothing, but to actually pour into myself, to pour more love into myself, to work out more, take my workout seriously, take my diet seriously, and really get myself where I need to be so that when God is ready for my husband to find me, he will.
Right. Okay. No, that's valid. That's the sad part about doing content is you're viable to criticism from every angle. Right? Even with us just doing reaction, there's people that like us, there's people that don't like us, there's people that's gonna insult us, there's people that's gonna defend us. But it's just like you get used to it. There's even points where you can do nothing wrong in a video. Nothing wrong at all. And somebody will still have something to say about you. Like crazy work to say about you.
Yep.
And they don't even know you.
Yep.
So it's just that just comes with content creation. But I got a question. So if his brother's your best friend and y'all knew each other for 10 years, how did you go 10 years without knowing about the other brother? Like, it was not like that's 10 years is a long time to not know somebody has a sibling.
Yeah. It just, I mean, it could be multiple reasons. One I'm thinking of is probably like they're probably half brothers. They didn't grow up in the same household type thing. Like, you have other siblings, but you don't talk to them on a daily, or you don't really hang out with them, but you know of them.
I don't know, man. I need Carfax.
I love that. Right.
And she said best friend.
For sure.
My best friend knows about all
and then
my
Shantae,
siblings.
are you still open to finding love? I heard it's going down in them DMs, girl.
Oh my
Talk
God!
about
I told you. No, I'm on pause for the moment. This was enough at the moment. So.
Okay. So
in the future, though.
Okay,
I'm
in the
never
future.
giving
So
up.
you need to do some self-reflecting and
No,
just
I'm whole. It's just I'm on pause from dating.
Okay, that's fair. Well, thank you all, and we're going to move on to episode 2. Well, thank you so much for that. And Shay, hi. Hi. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
You look lovely tonight.
So do you.
So you were one of the fan favorites.
That's very nice.
Yes, ma'am. You got a lot of comments. So how has your life changed since the show? What has life been like?
I never imagined doing something like this. I was really nervous that day. And Dion just made me feel so comfortable. She just was so warm, so inviting. She told me I could laugh and joke and be myself, and that just really helped me feel comfortable. And I feel like all my people that have seen it have told me that they felt like I was myself and showed myself. So that's a huge compliment.
Yes, and you did. It definitely exuded everything that you're about. So Chantel, how are you?
I'm doing amazing things.
Good.
I'm just happy to be here.
Good. We're happy to have you. So first off, how old are you, sir? it's giving tenderoni vibes.
Only
Tenderoni
laugh
is
because I look a whole lot younger than what I am.
Mhm.
I'm actually 44. I'll be 44 in March.
Okay, Black don't crack. Black,
Never
hold on. I'm trying to
guessed.
hold on, cameraman. You hold him. That blur was crazy. I was trying to get a good look at him, but hold on.
I got-
There you go. That camera fighting. It's fighting, boy. But 44, he looked like he's in his 20s.
Yeah.
Hey man,
Genetics is phenomenal.
Hey man, that's the good gene
My
pool.
daughter is 25, so
Wow. You look really good.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Is it the water?
It has to be.
Water, it's spring water.
Something is
Skincare
definitely in the
location?
water. I love it. So the alien thing, are you beamed up? What's going on? You believe in aliens too?
I for sure believe in aliens, and I feel like, Shay, my boy, but I feel like that's a little bit where we connected at. But I definitely do believe in aliens, and it's just like Shay said, like even a couple of years ago, the government legit came out and, addressed that, like the UFOs and stuff. But I do believe in aliens for sure.
Wow. Well, that at least is one thing that you all definitely had in common. So I heard you had a huge crush on Chantel. Is that true? Is she still rent free in your mind?
On who?
I'm sorry.
Ooh.
It's okay. It happens.
It happens. We got misdirected tea.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
You thought it was pouring to a cup. You was pouring it on the floor.
Hosting error.
Yeah.
Error.
He said, who?
I'm Chantel.
On Shay. On Shay.
Yeah, actually, I do though. I mean, her smile is like beautiful, and she believes in aliens. And I just felt like it was there. I mean, my man won out, but I just felt like it was there.
I'm gonna redo that. So Chantel, I heard that you still have a huge.
Why didn't y'all cut this out? Y'all hold.
I respect the host for redoing it, but
Yeah. Why did you cut this out, yo? Why you do your host like this?
Crush on.
So like, we connect on aliens and a couple of other things. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, if she gotta live there rent free, I mean, I'm fine with that. But I mean, if it's something more, it's something more.
I love that. Okay. So what's going on? How are you, Chris?
Doing well, thank you.
Good.
The audio is delayed now. Ooh.
We want to know what's the status with you and Shay. Give us an update.
I'll let Shay
Nope.
answer that.
Nope. She asked a direct question to Chris.
I need 3 seconds. Shay and I are friends, and we definitely enjoy our time in this experience together, and that's where we're at.
Okay.
Y'all just
Without
friends?
giving us a whole bunch of detail, you went all around that question, but I respect it. So, Shay, if you could do it over, would you choose the same or would you choose differently? Because it did seem like you and Chantel had a spark. So, what was the decision-making process? What is going through your mind during that time?
Me and Chantel definitely did have a spark. Me and Chantel, I think, have a lot in common. I think Chantel is great. But if I had to do it over again, I still would choose Chris. I would.
I love that.
Dang.
Chris is more her type, probably.
Yeah. It's probably how he carries himself.
Mm-hmm.
But so they just friends though?
And then Chantel, so you were pretty candid on Live with GMT. Did you honestly feel like the other gentlemen weren't really competition? How did you feel about that?
Of course. Why wouldn't I think about that though? I mean, it's a competition show, so why would I come up and think I'm second best to anybody? So again, no shade or anything, but yeah, I definitely felt like, why or how could she pick, anybody other than me, right?
Okay. Yes, I love it. So, individually, how was your experience just being on the show? Would you do it again?
Yeah, at first I did say, like after the show wrapped and, they asked the question, like, would you do this again? At first I said, yeah, but at this point, I think I would say no. The production is amazing. It's fire. All the cast was good. Like, even sitting in the back waiting for my turn, like everything was love. But this is my very first time ever doing something like this. But just the experience, and I don't want to keep going on, but it was like they was asking about the apps. To me, I feel like the apps have demoralized women, because if you could just swipe left on somebody that's attractive, swipe right on somebody that's not attractive, that takes everything out of it. You legitimately got a buffet. You could just swipe until you find that meal that you want, and hopefully they get back to you.
Yup, that's what we just said. It makes dating like it turns it from like a serious endeavor into like a little mini game. Do I feel like dealing with this shorty today or a new shorty today? I don't like the shorty that I got. Let me find a new one. Ooh, she's bad. She's just my type. If she don't like me, then she's the problem. Like, it creates this like, it creates this little toxic like bubble for people.
So putting everything on display on a show is great, but I would rather be out and about getting lunch or, washing my car and then meeting someone and then just having that genuine connection with it being that way, as opposed to, like I say, being on display and more or less like it's a buffet. You got 3 great gentlemen that you can pick between. And right. And then like after that, like, what is it?
Interesting. I like your take on that. Shay, so are you dating? What is your current status with that?
I am dating currently. I feel like me and Chris got along really well. I really, really like Chris. I think Chris is a great guy. But I think that we just weren't really on the same page. We never really quite got on the same page. We had a really great conversation about it. And so, yeah, I just think sometimes things don't work out and it's okay. But yeah, I am dating. My DMs are open.
Love it. And then do you have any final words, Chris? Are you dating? What does that look like for you?
No, I'm not dating. I'm open to dating, but I'm not dating currently. A lot of my time goes into my job and my kids. That's priority for me as far as, just being there for them. But like Shay said, we both, think highly of each other. I can move to the side if he needs to, step over. But no, she's great. We had great conversations, great laughs, great experience. So, yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you all for being here. Congratulations for you to just be here on the show. And best of luck in your dating world. And we'll be back with episodes 3 and 4.
Okay. You knew it was inevitable. You knew it was inevitable. You knew his time was coming. You knew his time was coming. I don't know why you played yourself and thought you.
I was just about to say, can we talk
what?
Can we talk about this is how you have a civil, respectful, mature reunion? Ain't nobody talking over each other. Everybody's speaking clearly into the mic. Everybody's nice and respectful. Ain't nobody yelling and screaming and cussing.
I just want you to note that this is a long segment. His is longer. Then this is a small segment. Yeah, we're cooked. I'm gonna skip the intros though, but like
buckle up.
Yeah, we might be cooked, man.
4, how are you all feeling tonight?
Wonderful.
Good. So let's just jump right on into it.
Oh Lord, they gave him the mic.
What did we tell y'all about giving Sydney the mic first?
Oh my gosh, here we go, y'all.
Sydney, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How
and
are
we
you?
started off with him. Man, hey.
Why would you start with him?
Hey man, look, I'm gonna need some water for this one, bro. We gonna have to hold on, man.
Oh man,
we gonna have to get some water for this one. Hold on, man. I'm not even gonna stop the recording. It's just we matter of fact, let's talk about while Alex is getting water, because this is about to be a segment for us, right? let's talk about how do y'all feel about the dating game right now, right? I feel like the main reason why the dating game is so bad right now is we've turned dating into like a political like chess. You get what I'm saying?
That's the problem right there. You called it a game.
Well, the dating game is not me calling it an actual game. It's just like it's like just a word. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I feel
that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying like they treat dating like it's chess now, but it's like women are on one side of the board and men are on the other board, and you guys are like constantly trying to outsmart each other or like prove like you guys are like superior to each other. Like if you look at like women focused platforms, it's all building women up, talking down on men. And then you look at men's platforms, it's building men up, talking down on women. But then both sides' objective is for one side for both sides to attract each other. And it don't make sense.
Y'all are not compatible doing all that.
It's like me trying to convince you to take medicine, but the entire time like, hey, take this cough syrup. But you know cough syrup gonna kill you, right? So then you're not gonna take the cough syrup because I'm telling you all the bad things about the cough syrup, but you need the cough syrup. You get me? It's like, I don't know. I feel like that's how dating really is. But thank you guys for a segue. We had to get some water because I'm about to. Nothing. I don't know nothing. I'm just a married guy.
I'm good. You look nice.
Well, thank you.
But we didn't expect anything different.
Oh man, well, thank you. Thank you.
So Sydney, you were also a fan favorite.
Was
for
I?
Sure, yes,
Okay.
and you knew that.
Okay.
So there was such a large influx of feedback and comments about you. So how has that comment section been post-production? How has your life changed since being on the show?
I have a lot of negative and positive comments. I think it's great because it gives me a chance to kind of reflect and look at how I see myself outside of myself. So it gave me a different perspective, and I don't really take the comments that serious. But yeah, it was a good experience in my opinion.
Okay. What was some of the things that you reflected on since the show? Would you do some things differently?
Absolutely. I think for one, really just being a better listener. I think that I was just a little talkative, over talkative. I didn't give the ladies a chance to really express themselves, and I think that would be something I really truly will work on. So I had an opportunity to really look at that and reflect. So yeah,
I like that.
I blame
like
myself for that.
Okay,
for sure.
You're
Yes.
gonna take that one for the chin, huh?
Yes.
So Danielle, how are you tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm excited.
Good. I'm glad that you're excited. We're glad that you're here tonight.
Thank you.
So how was your experience on the show?
It was really good. It definitely was a confidence booster for me. I think doing something like this for the first time is like now I definitely am more comfortable to go out there and date and to communicate and to get to know people and show people my personality and understand that, everybody's not for everybody and it's okay. Like I'm still going to be me. So
right.
I love that. Thank you. Aisha, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. I'm great. So question for you. So Sydney actually ended up choosing you, and then you all kind of had that conversation about your work-life balance. What were your thoughts about that in the end?
He didn't choose me. He did not choose me. Remember, it was because of my work schedule. It was too busy. Well, right now I'm down to one job, so it just is what it is. At that time, like I was explaining on the show, I was coming down on my jobs anyway. But right now I'm back to one job for now.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was saying. Like to me, it sounded like you chose her, and then you kind of thought about it again, and then you broke it down even more, asking more questions, and then you figured out the work-life balance wouldn't happen. So talk about that, Sydney.
For myself, first of all, it was a tough decision out of all three women. I kind of did choose you, to be honest. I kind of did choose you. I think it was just all about the timing. It was just all about me just double checking to make sure that the availability was there. And she now has time. So that if that was there on a show that she had the time, it would have been a little different. But I just thought that.
Well, Sydney, this is where it bites you in the butt about what you just said you had to self-reflect on. You didn't even give her like a solid opportunity to break it down to you. You were so busy like in the Sydney zone that like you didn't even let her break down her situation like that. It was just kind of like, yeah, I just feel like she's not gonna have enough time for me, and then you just wrote it off.
It was a timing thing, and that was really it.
Well, she said she only down to one job.
I heard that.
I mean, what are we doing? Will you circle that blocker, or would you just continue to just move forward?
I mean, her and I to me, I feel like we've been cordial. And I think that, I think right now I like to have a friendship with everyone on the set. And whatever happens, happens. I'm still singles, but for now, we'll see what happens. But other than that, it's good energy here, I would say. Good energy.
I love it. So, Sydney, you're another one, though, that people really want to know how old you are. How old are you?
I'm 37.
Okay. He's 37 for the record.
Yeah.
And then last question for you, Sydney. So I personally just want to know, in a relationship, who do you think the prize is? Do you think it's the woman or do you think it's the man? What's your personal opinion on that?
I would say the man. I would say the man is the prize.
Explain.
Nah, bro, watch this.
I would say the man.
Watch this.
I would say the man is the prize.
He said that brother is finished. That brother is finished.
I can't stand questions like that. Like, y'all got each other. Y'all both should be the prize. Y'all got each other. I don't understand why it's the men is the prize or the women is the prize. No. Because you already created a divide. You're already making it seem like a man is more more important than a woman, or a woman is more important than a man.
But remember what I just said about how it's like a chess game.
Yeah.
Where it's one side is one up in the other side.
Yeah.
But then y'all both want each other, but y'all busy down talking and I'm the prize because I bring this. Oh no, I'm the prize because I'm this. But you both want each other.
Yeah, like what a way to inflate someone's pride and ego.
Mm-hmm.
That's ugly.
Prize.
Explain.
That was a trick question, Sydney.
Do tell.
I think that I would say it for myself because I give 100%, and I love to invest in that special person in my life, and I think that the person that put that full commitment, as far as even their own lives, at risk, really is the prize. So. I wouldn't say that the woman is not a prize, but I think that the man will be a prize. I know that may be controversial or whatever, but I believe the man is the prize. But the woman would, definitely be.
And you know what? I understand what he's saying, and he's not wrong for what he's saying. If this guy is a hardworking, respectful gentleman who is caring, compassionate, and does all the qualities of a husband who is willing to die for and show a high level of loyalty, that is a prize. That is a prize in general. That's whoever gets that is lucky to get that. Vice versa, if you have a woman that she does all the responsibilities of a wife, she knows how to make sure that she creates an environment of peace. She makes her husband feel like he has some protection from when he comes out from the world and comes inside. And he knows that once he's inside, it's the safe haven. It's his spot to let his armor down a little bit. That is a prize in itself. Those are prizes. So he's not wrong for his take. It's just the beautiful thing about his take is it's a double-edged sword. The same pluses we can give a man and call him a prize for, we can flip it on the other side of the sword and give the same pluses towards women and call them a prize.
Yeah.
Now, where we stop calling people prizes is if you're not meeting those level of criterias of husband quality and wife quality. You're not a prize then. You're just an average person.
Yeah, that's what people choose to seek after.
Right.
A lot of people don't want to get married nowadays. So.
Right.
Whatever that may be. I'm not going to say not the prize. And I do not want to be, looked at as someone that don't see women as a prize. But I think the man is the prize when you look at just for myself overall what I will put in. And if she sees me as the prize, then that's a win for me too. So hopefully she sees me as the prize.
Are you really looking for love?
I absolutely am.
I know you've been on Pop the Balloon and you've been on a couple of shows. And are you really looking for someone, or is this more so for publicity?
No, I don't need publicity at all. And just to even address even certain folks were saying, he may be talking about his business. That's absolutely not a fact. because I never mentioned any of my websites. I never mentioned anything as far as how they could
I hate when people die on hills that they don't need to die on.
Nice. My background, currently I own a small dental practice here in Charlotte, and a roadside company here, which is also based in New York City. So I moved out here originally to, expand the business, and I have family out here as well. So good question. So I moved here to I have a pretty much one of the number one roadside companies here in Charlotte as well. So an emergency roadside company. And I bought it here to expand it because I actually started it in New York City during COVID. It's doing very well. So moving it here, and I have family here, some cousins, and they always encourage me to kind of move here. So I moved it to expand it here.
Okay.
And then I just started to learn about all of the other opportunities in the area.
The problem wasn't that you were mentioning your websites, Sydney. The problem was your business was like a large portion of it, and you felt like you needed to expand on it and keep talking about it. And then a lot of people are going to start thinking that you're only there for your business when you start saying of like, my whole purpose of moving here was for my business. And then you went on Pop the Balloons talking about your businesses. So they have multiple shows of you talking about your business or your profession. And then you went through a cycle of three different women on a dating show talking about your business. And then you also chose not to choose her because she was busy with her three things. And you were like, well, I run my businesses and I need somebody to have time for me. It's just like, it gets to a point, bro.
Sites, I never mentioned anything as far as how they could reference over to me.
You literally said you have the number one
roadside company.
Yeah, the number one roadside company in Charlotte. So, well, guess what? Now we know in Charlotte, I'm going to just look for a roadside company and look for the one that says it's the number one.
I don't need publicity. I'm really, truly am looking for the love of my life. And so I am single. And I'm on a platform like this to kind of, hopefully find that special one. So I'm single.
And
100%.
I hope you do as well.
I appreciate it.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
And then ladies, would you do this experience again? Would you come on the show and do this over again?
For me, yes, I would definitely do it again. I would like to be the chooser.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I would definitely do the same, do this experience again and, have more options and open more doors. So, yes.
Yeah.
Love that. Well, thank you all. And Ashley, question for you. Do you feel like you got a genuine opportunity during this experience? What are your thoughts on that?
So in terms of production, day of filming, like everything was great. But post-production, when I was really supposed to get to know Chris, I was not getting to know him. How can you get to know somebody after only 3 conversations?
So was this through text or was this phone call? Did y'all even go out on a date? How did that go?
We didn't go out on a date. A date was supposed to happen, but nothing was set in stone. Day of, it couldn't happen. I understand circumstances happen, but in terms of intentionality, I would travel. I don't have a problem. I'm not one of those, people who wait on a man to do it. Like, I'm going to show up. If it's someplace I want to be, somebody I want to talk to, I'm going to pick up my phone. I'm going to make time. Nobody's ever that busy.
Absolutely. So, Chris, do you want to respond to that? She said that you were not intentional. You never called her. You didn't take her out. Talk about that.
Well, I won't say I never called her. We did have a few phone conversations. The day I was supposed to come, I ended up having to work third shift at my job that night, which was a very unfortunate circumstance. One of my stores got robbed. That was just something I ended up having to work third shift, and it's just, that's no excuse. I'm not saying it like that, but it didn't come into fruition. And I mean, I could take, if the blame is on me, then that's so be it. But yeah,
I don't have to place blame. It's just accountability more so. So things happen. I had people pass away in my family. That doesn't mean that my phone doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? So
I hear that.
Oof. Okay, I get it. I get what she's saying. I get his excuse too, because it's like, all right, but again, your phone can still work. you can still at least let people know. I get it. It's too, especially it sucks because like this excuse he gave would be a perfect excuse back in like 2004, like when phones was barely working, like everybody wasn't hip into texting like that, so it was like all this. But then we're in like 2025. Everybody got a phone, tablet. Your car can send messages. Like everything. They're
You
really
don't even have to like physically text anymore. You can literally send a voice memo, touch bases with people.
Yeah.
But
it happens though. Just
does
like
happen.
just like with the one chick on the Arlettes with Ketchup, where she had worked that night and she got off and went to sleep and woke up to go on her date. And everybody was like, well, she could have called. She could have called.
Yeah.
It's like life be happening. So I get it.
I have a job. I have a child. Like, there's no real reason as to why you can't, if you're, wanting to do something intentional with your time.
I agree. So, Chris, would you do something different if you had the opportunity again to get in front of Ashley and, do something different? What would that be, if anything?
Well, if anything, maybe probably be more assertive in setting something up and things like that. I was very casual and very like nonchalant about it. I probably should have been more like assertive, more maybe not forceful, but definitely more assertive in like getting something done.
Mm-hmm. So I heard through a little birdie, Chris, that you had your eye on someone else on the show as well.
Dang.
And they got
You
mentioned
did
a
not hear
couple
that.
times.
You did not hear that.
I heard that. I won't reveal the sources.
I mean, we can reference what he said himself. He asked if he could have them both. I don't know who them both was, but, you can only...
Oh, no.
I feel like this is a childish thing to point out.
Yeah.
Because
it was a hard decision, so it's like, can I just have them both? But jokingly in a way. But,
yeah, this is a reach. This is a super reach. She playing full court press.
Let me pick one. So.
Chris, you want to...
Yo, that's on the episode. I thought you were talking about like maybe so afterwards or something like that.
But that came from you.
Yeah, that was on the episode. That's very much. But
So who was both? Who were the two people?
It definitely wasn't that girl with them dogs.
So if it wasn't, was that Vanessa? Or was that Ayana?
This is not to shade anybody. It's just something, like I said, that came.
But hold on, let's give Chris an opportunity. Who were the?
Nah, I did say that on the show, but. No,
and who were the names, Chris?
Because there was some confusion about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and who were the names, Chris?
Ashley, Vanessa, and I can't remember the other lady name. But, like, out of them three, like, no, I made the right choice. But what I'm saying is, though, like, Mingo had said I was supposed to, like, eliminate one. And I was like, oh, I'm only eliminating one. I get to keep two. That was the, like, that's on the episode. It's, like, at, like, 12 minutes, 45 seconds.
All right, time
or something like that. I'm serious.
He knew the exact.
I'm serious.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm serious because I sent the link to my mom and she said, Chris, what did you just like? And I looked at her like, no, it wasn't like that. It really wasn't like that.
I think he was just joking.
Yeah.
Okay. Ashley, you?
I think one had already been eliminated, so, but neither here nor there. I guess just speaking to the fact of when I asked him questions, even the questions that I asked, he took those questions and then asked them to those ladies.
Oh. Okay.
So, like I said, in terms of intentionality, like being purposeful with what it is that you want, knowing who you are in yourself, like I'm very secure in myself. I know what it is that I'm looking for.
Chris, fight back!
In terms of partnership, I'm very
Don't tap,
purposeful
fight.
with getting to know my person and wanting them to get to know me. So, I mean, it kind of is what it is. He's not my person. I pray that he finds his, but when mine comes, I'll know.
There you go. Well, obviously you didn't find a connection here, so I wish you both the best of luck in finding.
Chris, you just took that to the chin, bro. You should have fought back. Why you out of counter? Why you worried about stuff that happened on the show when it's time for us to be focused on me and you? I'd have said something, bro.
I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like,
I think he was joking.
No, I genuinely think he was joking as well. But with the whole questions thing, I can see it from like her angle. Like you asked these questions, you asked the same questions that I asked you to the
women after.
The women after, but when he was doing process of elimination, like she was the better suit for him. But I do feel like he probably asked those questions because he probably wasn't prepared to ask.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah.
Love. And then I wanted to kind of circle back over here because Danielle, I feel like I didn't really give you an opportunity to really talk about your experience on the show and how you felt about Sydney. And do you think that you were given a fair chance?
Well, I think anytime you say you don't want to give somebody an opportunity because of their body shape, I feel like that's not really giving somebody a fair chance because that's something that could be changed. That was something you said on the episode. But later on then you told me it was because you had a stronger connection to somebody else, which is fine. Like, if you don't like the way I look, that's okay. I don't think you should be blamed for that or torn down for that. I mean, I think everybody has their own preferences. Me, I prefer my men to be from the South. They ain't scared to get their hands dirty, put the hay on the truck, go horseback riding, you know. But yeah, I don't think I really got a fair chance, honestly.
And do you want to respond to that, Sydney?
I don't recall saying that, but I'm big on taking accountability. So if I did,
you did say it.
Yeah, if I did,
Hey, host ain't playing. You did say it. You said it, gang. You said it.
Okay. If I did say that, I do apologize. But no, that's a big deal for me to make sure that I take accountability. I'm big on that. So I apologize about that. I want to say one thing about New Yorkers, okay? We do get our hands.
No! Stop calling New York assist tag buttons. Disable his controller.
Y'all on time out.
Don't deflect the conversation back to New Yorkers getting their hands dirty. Address the fact that you didn't choose her because her body.
I apologize about that. I want to say one thing about New Yorkers, okay? We do get our hands dirty. Okay. That's a big city, and in fact, you know, even owning a roadside company, my hands get dirty. So I get dirty as well. But yeah, want to make sure I apologize to you on that. My goal on the show was never to offend anyone. So I just want to make sure I'm clear with that. Yeah.
So you talk about these companies, Sydney. So what companies specifically do you have?
So A1 Roadside Service LLC.
That was the first one I looked up.
Yeah, she looked at, so it's funny because she looked up roadside company in Charlotte and it was A1. And it's the first thing it says is #1 roadside company in Charlotte. So even when you said it on the show, you plugged it. So it's like you literally plugged it. So this makes that whole thing you just said, like, that's invalid, bro. You plugged it.
It's a roadside service. I actually moved from New York City here. I actually opened up that business during COVID, and then I moved that here. So it's here, A1 Roadside LLC, and then also A1 Veneers. So anyone want to go ahead and go to that as well? I am the owner of both of those companies. I do a few other things as well, but thank you for allowing me to make the plug.
Of course. And you mentioned your company. So with owning two different businesses, you have to be busy. But again, you eliminated Aisha because of her schedule. So Aisha, how do you feel about that?
So when I first came out on the show, I did say that I had those 3 jobs. So it was a matter of not listening because I mentioned that the first time. As far as like people's schedule, like she said earlier, you just make time for what you want. Like I said on the show, it was just a matter of, like, I was being very intentional when I came. I wanted to find my person and I would have made the time. He eliminated me due to the assumption of not making the time, which is, you know, crazy because it wasn't even like I had the opportunity to even prove or show or anything like that. Yeah. But all in all, for me, as far as time goes, like, there's a lot of busy people in the world. Okay, it just is what it is, and people make time. Like, you know, I would have made time if I decided to go that route.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like you were a little hurt by that. I can tell, just a little bit.
Wait a minute.
I mean, when we say hurt, we don't mean like in a bad way. Sometimes people hurt your feelings with different things.
Honestly, initially when I came out to talk to him, he wasn't my first like wow. Like, I wasn't like,
oh, she said she
so
wasn't
excited. Like,
okay.
No, I wasn't heartbroken at all. Honestly, I felt like I didn't really get the opportunity to have a conversation with him. I felt like he was talking most of the time.
My hands is up.
I didn't really get to say too much. I might have been a little nervous on Me Too, whereas I wasn't able to ask the appropriate questions. But I was not at all heartbroken. Like, no. The ball will still roll.
Definitely say for one is my business does not make me busy. I actually manage the business in a way where it does allow me time. So that's an assumption. I'm not always busy. I wasn't in a relationship until I freed my time. So it does allow me
But
to
you
free
did
time.
assume that Aisha was busy,
Right,
though.
but you saying that I am busy. That's an assumption. I'm not busy. So I freed.
But the point of her saying it is it can be flipped. The same things that you're saying right now to defend yourself can be used to defend her.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of her calling you out on it, because you made an assumption, but now you're on the defensive because she made an assumption on you. You don't get to make assumptions and then be mad people make assumptions.
Right.
Freed up my time. I do own 2 businesses, but I freed up my time before I got on the show to allow for that. And then I do take accountability again. I think it's important once you see yourself on the camera, you get a chance to really see, wow, I was chatting too much, or I should have let them speak too much. So both of the ladies, definitely, all 3, I should have allowed you guys to speak a little more. I believe when you're filming, it didn't allow, I had to repeat myself 3 times to 3 ladies about who I am and what I do. So it came off as looking as if I wanted to continue talking about myself. So
the problem is your segments was more like, I get the introduction thing. You can sum the introduction up in a minute, 2 minutes. You took majority of it to the point where you weren't focused on asking the women questions. You were just focused on talking about yourself. Your segments were mainly about you. And the thing is, it's like, you're here to find a partner. So you should have been asking, like, hey, this is me, blah, blah, blah. This is what I do. But anyway, let's talk about you. What do you do? What do you like? How's your life? Blah, 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 blah. You didn't do that. You just kept talking about yourself.
Yeah.
So that's what it was.
You talked about yourself, your business, and New York.
That's when we needed the other
host.
Yeah, because she throws good assists, but the last few episodes, a lot of people were like, they want the 2 contestants to talk a little bit more, but those helpful assists, they do
It
help. Keeps the conversation going. So.
And if anything, if I offended you again, I apologize as well. I have some work to do.
Well, I know she appreciates that.
I have some work to do, and I'm happy to make sure that I actually look at that to better myself.
So
as well.
anybody looking to date Sydney in the world out here, what is your
Work on
ideal
yourself.
woman? Is there anybody else that you maybe would have chose on the show?
So you asked 2 questions. My ideal woman is someone who's confident in themselves, who's willing to collaborate with me, whatever it is that they do, as far as working together, someone who believes in God, obviously, and someone who's intentional. So I don't really have a type per se, preference, but not a type.
Okay. And then anybody else that you would have chose on the show?
I've watched all the episodes. There were some really beautiful, attractive, I believe, women who had a lot of qualities that I was impressed with. And so just got to keep watching the show and follow up with me.
All righty
be
then.
on
Well,
another
thank
episode.
you all again for being here. Hope you all find love out here. And stay tuned. We'll be back with episodes 5 and 6.
Thank you.
Okay.
You got that fit on.
I'm here with the contestants from episodes 5 and 6. How are you all today? Doing good?
Doing good. How you doing?
Good, good. So, Erica, let's start with you. You had some really good gentlemen to choose from. Chris, unfortunately, could not make it today. However, you do have these gentlemen who showed up for you today. Your bubbly personality really showed through the screen. Right now, you're just cheesing, and I love it. Are you like that in real life?
I want to let them answer. So, like, in between recording, like, we've been hanging out. So I want to, like, give them the chance to, like, talk about me and my personality.
Oh, nah, that's crazy work. Hey, I know I rejected you, but gas me up, gang. That's crazy work.
So I'm gonna say she is like that. It is genuine. She's good vibes and good people.
I agree. She got a good aura about her. She got a beautiful smile. She got a great personality. She's bubbly. She's fun. I agree.
Oh, listen at that. I love that. So, Lo, you look so good today. Love the hat. Love to get up. So you represent for the short kings over there. Okay, very suave.
Got to. My short kings. Come on, man. Come on.
There you go. Do you think Erica blocked her blessings from not choosing you? What are your
I'm not
thoughts?
gonna say she blocked her blessing, but I mean, I definitely do think that played a factor. She, you know, I've been dealing with this my whole life, being short, so I'm used to it. It is what it is. My short queen out there somewhere.
There you go. I
Real
agree.
talk, queen, baby.
So Erica, you said that you wanted to be a Long Island iced tea if you could be a drink. Girl, it could be pretty strong.
It can.
Do you think that truly kind of exemplifies your personality? What do you think?
I think it does, but I mean, I feel like just with everybody, you know, things influence your personality of the day. So, you know, some days maybe it's a Long Island, other days maybe it's more along the lines of low and a straight shot of tequila. I feel like it really just kind of, you know, depends on like who you're around, what the vibe is. Because I like being able to be adaptable too. So sometimes I might have to simmer down. Other days I might be turning up a little bit.
There you
so.
go. I love me a
iced
good
matcha
glass of
latte.
red wine at night.
An iced matcha latte.
Yep, with cold foam.
Girl. Okay. So, Joker, you share your pursuit of higher education as well as Erica, of course. Do you feel like women with advanced degrees in education are intimidating? What are your thoughts on that?
Not at all. I actually appreciate that because it shows that they have ambition. They're trying to get somewhere, and hopefully they're using their degree. If not, they're doing whatever they love.
I love that. So let's talk about who you chose, Erica. You did end up going with our 6'6" guy. Somewhat typical. I like tall men as well. Do you feel like you made the right choice? Would you do that again if you had to choose all over?
So I will say, I didn't realize prior to recording that not choosing anyone was an option. So I feel like if I could go back, I probably would have just walked away. I think I had great contestants. They were great guys. Y'all too, specifically, because like I've known y'all like a little bit more than I got to know Chris. But I would just say, I would just walk away and just, you know, be appreciative of the experience, I think.
Dang, so the couples of every episode so far that got matched, they ain't matched.
Yeah.
And it seems like they didn't even get to the date portion.
Mm-mm.
Dang. So that just goes, that's not a hosting issue. That's just dating market in general.
Yeah. Different show, different line of people.
Same results.
Different area, same results.
Same results. But I wonder, are people going to acknowledge that the people that watch this show and watch our Let stuff, are y'all going to acknowledge the fact that this is the same result, different format, different everything, but they're still getting the thing? Is it really the hosts, or is it just the fact that people have terrible, terrible dating habits?
I think people will still openly blame the host because it's the easiest thing to do.
I like that. So what actually happened? After the show, did you all go out? Did you communicate? What actually happened with you and Chris?
So following the theme, we did not go out. We talked on the phone a couple times, and really that was it. I'd say like I can be slightly hard to reach until like we meet in person and, you know, kind of like establish that vibe. But we never even got there.
Was that solely on him? He just didn't set up a date, or you just wasn't feeling it?
He didn't set up a date, but I also kind of wasn't feeling it.
Okay.
Like, yeah, we talked, and I was just kind of like, yeah.
That wouldn't have happened if you'd have picked me.
Oh.
Talk your talk. Talk your talk, King. Talk your talk. Look at you, Suavecito. Talk your talk. Talk your talk.
Hey, Lo.
Hey, shout out to them. That's a good brand.
Say that again. I love that. So how was you all experience on the show? I know you all are still good friends, but how was the experience for you in general? Are you all dating right now?
No, I'm currently still single, still actively looking. It was a great experience. I had a good time. The vibes were good. I feel like our episode probably had the less drama. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well,
we had
speak your truth,
vibes
Flo.
on our show. But yeah, I had a great time. I'll definitely do it again for sure.
And I would second that as well. Like I said, I definitely had a good time, good experience. Everyone was good vibes. I was able to meet some amazing people here. So definitely thankful I did it.
For sure.
Okay. Joker, are you dating right now?
So I'm not
Actively
dating. I'm
looking?
still single as well. I'm shy, so.
Okay.
It's all good.
It's all right, brother.
Love it. Erica, what is your current dating status right now?
Single as a Pringle.
I don't think I've heard that.
Pringles don't come single. They come stacked. mixed, boy.
In the can by itself, single.
Love it, love it. Okay. Well, thank you so much.
She said in the can by herself. So you that one chip that be at the bottom that don't ever get picked. You gotta do the.
You ever see them? You see them peel? You see
the Pringle POVs? They be.
I don't like Pringles, bro.
And we're gonna go over to you. How are you tonight?
Wonderful. How are you?
Good. So your couch looks a little empty.
I mean,
they didn't show up for you, girl.
They don't show up in real life, and they ain't showing up on the sofa apparently.
Now, was this the drama you was referring to, brother? Because why they didn't show up? Why they not on the couch?
No. So speak about it. How was your experience on the show?
My experience, this was my first time as well. I think most of us doing something like this, and it was. I'm pretty much of a shy person in camera, I should say. Out in public, I'm very jovial and whatnot. So I did find I was probably a little bit reserved on my episode, or just trying to feed it out myself. And I think also, to be honest, I think some of the caliber of men weren't my speed.
Okay.
So it just kind of made me question, what is my speed?
Right.
Or, are my expectations too high? Or things like that. So I think it just kind of put me in a reserved space of just trying to be gentle on the black man. The world is already tough on you, so I didn't want to add to it, but just giving everybody a chance.
I like that. So being from the 305 MIA, is the dating scene different, or how does it differ from Charlotte?
That's actually a really good question, because it actually ignites something else. As you can see, I'm a chocolate queen, and being from South Florida, it was a little different. The majority, we have a Hispanic population, and honestly, the majority of all of my guy friends are married to mixed race, whether it would be, they would say, Anthea, I met this girl, and I was like, oh, what does she look like? She's Filipino and black. I mean, it was like the exotic factor of those. So just regular, basic African-American black is not it. Now,
Nah, talk about it, because that is a thing out here in California too. They don't want regular black girls. They want the mixed black girls. Bro, the ones that always, in high school, in the workplace, the combinations that was always the ones getting scooped up, Blasians, black Asian, Blexicans, black Mexicans, or blights, black whites. Those three, the Blasians always go first every time. And then the black and Mexican, that breed, I don't know what it is. Everybody just obsesses over those out here in Cali. Bad.
I think that's Cali is bad in Cali, but I think that's a general thing, like where people are overly obsessive with the fact that they could potentially be mixed with another race and all that kind of stuff, because if it's more fun, exotic, exciting, whatever the case may be, like black, just straight black.
Yeah, that's
mixed with something else, but I don't know, and I don't have enough history on it, and I don't care enough to be like to make up things like, oh well, I'm mixed with this, and this to pander or get reassurance for somebody to like me.
Yeah,
So
and
no.
that's one thing my mom used to teach us as a kid, because my mom never liked when my mom never liked when people were like, oh, I'm mixed, I'm this and this, I'm this and this, I'm this and this. My mom was like, you just tell people you are a black American, you are African American, you're black.
It doesn't make it, and it's like, for me, I have a disconnect with it, because there's people that always say like, oh, I'm black in this, but they don't even explore that other side of their whatever their identity is.
They do it
You're
as
just
a way to
saying
gas themselves up, right? I used to be like, yo, I'm just a black dude, bro. Like, I'll say like, oh, I'm like, my peoples are from Trinidad. Shout out to Trinidad. But I genuinely, I have like very basic levels of Trinidad culture ingrained in me. And it's just because I grew up on my mom's side. My mom was Creole. My mom, black, she Blackfoot Indian. She don't want to claim all that. She just claimed black. If you look at my mom, you would think my mom is mixed. My mom don't look like a generic black person. You get what I'm saying? And I don't want people to think black is like a racist thing. We just saying Negro. You get me? So it's like, I did notice that it's like an exotic thing to say like you're mixed. Oh, my mom is white, my dad's black. Ooh, and it's just like
it's the same. Like,
okay,
even with both of our moms, both of our moms are really, really fair skin, like really light skin, and people be like, oh, what are they mixed with? They're just black.
My mom's just black.
Black comes in different shades, people.
My mom
They're
is just black. My mom's skin tone is golden. My mom, she got like it's like a hash brown.
And my mom is lighter than yours.
Yeah.
My mom almost.
Yeah, my mom is golden. So it's just like, I don't know, bro.
Now it's kind of in amongst the men. You know, women like tall, dark, handsome men, and probably the chocolate women we're pushing our way through. But it was a little challenging. It really worked. It affected my self-esteem until I went to college.
Yeah.
And I went to a HBCU.
Where'd you go?
I went to, it's called Oakwood University in Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay.
We're
Hey,
a
shout out
small religious university, Seventh-day Adventist. And it was me seeing all the different women. You saw your East Coast women with their hair wraps and sneakers. Your Cali girls looked a little different. And I just remember seeing all these beautiful black women, and they were confident. And it made me feel confident. So coming out of that space of where Hispanic or white or mixed was it, in that space, it was black girl magic.
Love that. So you ended up.
I thought we were about to watch Love and Hip Hop for a second. I was like, oh, it's happening.
What was the deciding factor on him? Would you have chose him if you had a chance to redo that?
Well, similar to what Erica said, I didn't know no option was an option. But to be honest, Curtis, out of the bunch, he's a good man. I don't want to say he was, or I'm not too sure, because we didn't go out either. So never a date was set up or anything like that. But his foundation, his goals, and what he discussed in our brief conversation on site, it seemed very driven and possibly in line with what I was going with. But I just had to know him more. But I can't say it wasn't a bad decision or was a good decision, because I don't know the man.
Okay.
Dang, y'all ain't even try. Dang. Y'all not even, bro, after y'all match, bro, sit on the couch, talk for a couple minutes, say, hey, I'm not busy. Are you busy right now? No, I got free time. Hey, let's go out. Let's go get some lunch. Go, like, dang.
At least with like Pop the Balloon, they're more into like,
yeah,
they go straight to doing activities if they can. But
my thing is this, I give them less excuses as contestants, because Pop the Balloon, you're in a big lineup of people.
That's true.
And so it's like, to schedule a date, you really have to be like trying to set that up with them. But you guys are only dealing with one person and then 3 contestants. It's like, bro, you already have more interaction than the Pop the Balloon people are getting. And y'all not even getting past just leaving the building together.
And it goes back to what the other young woman was saying on the previous episode. Intentionality is everything. So if you don't have the intentions of actually talking or dating this person or getting to know this person, it's kind of like you're wasting space, you're wasting time.
Yeah, man.
I love it. So what is your current dating life like now? Are you dating, open?
I'm open to dating, but I'm very much single for these years. I've heard people look at my social media and they say, girl, you look too happy. And I mean, my life they say your life looks too good to look as if you need somebody. You know, I'm not a woman that posts on social media all these sides about a good man. I wish I could get a man. I'm not posting the one. You're seeing me in Portugal on a yacht. You're seeing me here like I'm out. You know, so I think
enjoy
that
your
can
life, have fun, as you should. What the heck?
I don't know what that was.
What's wrong with people? Don't come over here deflecting, mad because I'm happy whether I'm single or with somebody. What is that? What that got to do with anything?
I see. We got two different perspectives on that on this segment just now.
Okay, you give your perspective. Maybe
maybe your perspective is the perspective that need to be put out, because the way that conversation just went in my mind was like okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'm lost.
It's like, okay, hold on. Here, I'm gonna paint a perspective, right? In my mind, right? Say you just got done rejecting me, whatever. Like, oh yeah, you're not my type, whatever. And I go, yeah, man, and it's all good. Like, you feel me? Like, I ain't even have to really worry about it. Like, people be telling me all the time, like, you know, like, you got mad girls, bro. And I be trying to tell them, like, yeah, I got mad girls, but you know, like, when you see the pictures of me, I'm hugged up with the shorties. I'm over here with the shorties. But like, you feel me? I may not need it, but people just say it all the time. You get me? That's how it sounded to me just now. Okay. People always coming to me talking about, you're always happy. You look like you don't need a man. Why would you? It's just like, okay.
That's still weird though. Who's saying that? Why would they say that?
It goes into my mind, and if that's her truth, that's her truth. Yeah. It just makes me like, I'm kind of thinking about internet etiquette. I'm like, who says that? Like, who goes up to people and be like, you too good looking. You too good looking to want to get a man right now. Like that's like a weird thing to say. I mean,
it is a weird thing to say, but I'm not gonna say people don't say it because I've seen people say it. Mostly other women, but like, don't do that. That's bro.
Yeah,
that's like seeing a baby happy in a picture. Ooh, you so cute. You too good to be even have parents. You don't even have to worry about having parents right now because you're so happy. Shut up.
It goes back to the people that be like, yeah, man, people tell me all the time I'm just a funny guy. Like they tell me all the time I'm the most hilarious guy that they know. That's the impression I got from that. Like, hear it again and look at it from that perspective once.
In Portugal on the yacht, you're good, happy.
This is like reverse Mozzie.
Okay. I mean, my life looks. They say your life looks too good to look as if you need somebody. I'm not a woman that posts on social media all these sides about a good man. I wish I could get a man. I'm not posting the womp. You're seeing me in Portugal on the yacht. You're seeing me here like I'm out. So I think that can come off intimidating.
Do you see what I'm saying though? Not saying that's what she's doing. Not saying that. Don't hold her. But that's how it came off in my brain. It came off like a reverse Mozzie, like how Mozzie was like, yeah, bro, like everybody think I'm just flexing for this, but like this is just real life. You feel me? And when people don't understand that this is just how real life go, like you feel me? Like
it takes levels to get to this type of success.
Like when y'all see me, I'm in Portugal, I'm on yachts. It's just like, okay.
I'm not too sure. Probably my life looks too good, but this is a life I've created for myself. And if it's me by myself, I have to make the best for me.
Mm-hmm. No, I love that. Continue to be happy. Continue to pour into yourself.
Shout out to
because
her.
That's going to allow you to pour into someone else in a positive way. So I love that.
I'm not saying she was doing that,
Thank you
though.
all again. Kudos to you for being on the show. I know that was tough.
I hate that.
But stay tuned. We'll be back with the creators of the show.
Okay. Shout out big hosts. Again, it's not that I don't care. It's just I would rather just get to the conversation. Shout out to y'all though.
Creators and hosts of Meet2Marry, Dion and GMT. How are you all today?
We are doing well. I'm doing well.
I'm amazing.
Good.
You look amazing.
You look fine.
Well, I'm going to let them have their little moment. Yes. You all look really, really good. But first off, just pat on the back. Congratulations.
I love her.
You all have done amazing. Amazing with this vision.
Thank you.
Seriously. And of course, I want to get into that. But first, you all are married. How long? I want to hear the details.
So, we've been married for 8 years, together for 15.
Wow.
So it's been a minute.
That's a long time.
Yes.
So how did you all meet?
Why don't you explain this one? You got it.
All right. Well, we actually worked together many moons ago, and we met again later on in life in the later 2000s, and it was kismet. I don't believe in coincidences per se, but I think everything aligned exactly how it was supposed to, because literally we crossed paths within years, and then we just got together in the right timing, God's timing.
Right.
And here we are.
So when you first laid eyes on her, what did you think?
I said, that's it. She's the one. Instantly. It was almost like I'm gonna date her to marry her and be intentional.
Love it. So for the men out there, look in the camera. Let them know it doesn't take long to know that she's the one. Talk about that.
It really doesn't, fellas. Really it's all about being intentional. If you know what you want, you want to be with somebody, you want to be married, you need to make it happen. But the whole thing is you need to let her know that you're serious. And it's not saying it's everyone, right? But when it's the right one, you would know. Yeah. And it don't take long to know. Because I'm telling you, it was within a few months I knew that she was the one.
I love that. Oh, so how do you all feel the dating scene has changed since you all have been off the market?
That's interesting. Thank you for that question. I think it has changed drastically, honestly. I think with social media has added another layer of not allowing so much of interpersonal relationships to organically happen. Like you said, he knew. I didn't necessarily know, only because it was like I didn't think I was his type. But I would say once we were able to get to know each other and we did the work, like you said, we've been married for 8 years and been together for 15. Those years were very instrumental for getting us ready for marriage. And we had work to do. So it wasn't so much of us not knowing we wanted to be together. It was more so, how could we be ready to be together? So we had to get that work done.
I like that. I attend a church here, and he literally said that same thing. During the years of dating, if you break it down, dating is data. So you take that time to gather data about each other to see what you need to work on and if you are a fit. So I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. So what?
That's a very good breakdown.
Yes, it is.
Yep. But that's also why it's bad to be these people. Like, I can't stand it when people say, like, I'm dating multiple people. I'm dating all these people. Because it's like,
all this
yeah, how are you having the time to really, like, break down if this person's your match, if you dating 6 people at a time?
Yeah.
7 people at a time. I just casually date. So you casually data collect. Like, you give me like that.
Yeah.
That's
Where does
be
the
my
data
disconnect.
go afterwards? Like, does it go on a file that you never touch again, or like?
Yeah, and that's also why you get so many people that start grouping and boxing everybody in the dating sphere together. Oh, my last guy, he wore an ascot just like that, and I know from the 5 guys I dated that had ascots, they all act like it's like, bro, what?
Yeah,
it's like, what are we talking about? Yeah, girls, if he got a grill on this side of his face, he does. It's like,
and it could be people that have never even got into a space or a room with a person like that because the other person has already experienced it. They're kind of like ruining the experience for them to see if like that's what they really like or want in a person.
What was the thought behind creating Meet2Marry?
So the thought was I wanted people to have what I have, right? I wanted to make sure that, you know, people are out here looking for something intentional, like I said before, and also with the mindset of marriage in mind, not just dating and having fun and moving on to the next person. It gets old after a while, so I was very intentional about creating this show as well. And when even putting contestants together, I wanted to make sure I vetted them out as well, that they had that mindset of marriage in mind. So I did ask a series of questions to make sure that at least if it didn't work, it's just a lack of chemistry, but the intentionality was there.
Right. I like that. Did you all think that it would take off the way that it did? Because when I tell you, you are getting a lot of buzz. You have even different YouTube channels talking about the show. So people are really engaged. They're, you know, when is the next episode dropping? So did you think that this would take off?
I had no idea. It's only God. Like, it exceeded my expectations. You know, I understand how it works. So I thought it was going to be a slow build, but the attention that the show has been getting, I got to God be the glory.
Well, he's a bit more humble than I am. That's how we balance each other out. But I did feel like it was going to take off because I think real recognizes real. I think when you're putting something out authentic, you're putting out something with sincerity and you're being real to yourself and your intention behind it, which that's what we were doing, I think it's going to shine through. So I think the audience saw what we were trying to put out, and that's why it's creating the buzz that it is.
They took off fast.
It's authentic.
Yeah.
When we watched their like the second episode, and when we first got introduced into their channel, they were like in like what 5, 6, 7K.
Yeah.
And then by the 4th episode, no, we watched Sydney first. Yeah, when we had watched Sydney first, they were around that like 6, 7K.
They have 40. They have 43 right now.
By the second time we watched their another episode, they were at 25K.
Right.
Now they're at 43. Like
Yep. And they getting the likes up. I guarantee if I refresh this, they probably got some comments. Yep. There you go. 35 comments. They doing it. Hey, keep supporting
their
them.
lives are good too.
People want to see that,
Very
and
much,
people
very
nosy
much.
too.
That too. I mean,
So what's the goal for the future show? Is there a season 2 possibly in the works?
Oh, most definitely. We are actually in the midst of shooting season 2 now. And also the goal is to eventually take the show around the country. So I want to have a Meet2Marry Dallas, Meet2Marry DC, Meet2Marry LA, Meet2Marry
Yes.
New York,
Miami. Everybody.
So the intention for the show is to move it from state to state.
That's nice.
I love that. So if someone wants to be a contestant, if you're still open to that, how do they get in contact with you, or how do they apply? Do you have a process for that?
Yes, we do have a contestant form that we have all of our contestants fill out, just so we can get more information of what they want and who they're trying to attract. I think it's really important to be clear with what you want. And sometimes, yes, things can look really great on paper and necessarily won't see everything that comes out. But I think at least getting some groundwork is really important and essential for us. So we have the contestant form, you fill that out, we get, photos and pertinent information, and we move on from there.
There you go. Okay. And before I let you all go, so obviously all of these contestants are looking for love. They're looking to be where you all are, married. So what are some gems that you can drop, 1 or 2, for when they get married to look out for, or just some things to do to keep your marriage together?
I would say patience. When you meet that person, have patience. It's never going to be a rush. Marriage is a slow. It's the long game. And play the long game, and understand that you're in it for the long haul. So I advise everyone that's looking to be married to understand it's all about being patient. It's all about being understanding. And it's all about compromise. And once you're able to do that, you'll get far.
Absolutely.
Listening is so essential. I think we've come into a place where we are learning more and more how to listen to each other. We've grown so much. Communication is essential. We have to speak on how we feel, what we think, because even with the time that we've shared, he's changed, I've changed. So listening is key, and communicating is 100% needed.
There you go. 8 years. 15 years of dating, 8 years married. I love it. So I am so happy for you all and the journey that you all have that's coming up for you, not only in your personal life, but with the show. So I am looking forward to seeing what season 2 brings. Thank you all again, and we'll be back.
Thank you.
Hey, shout out to them. Shout out to them.
Yeah, they did drop some good gems.
Okay.
Literally met on the set. So we are back. I am here with a couple that literally met on the set of the promotional trailer of Meet2Marry. After they met, sparks began to fly and blossomed into a beautiful relationship. So let's welcome Kenny and Sara. How are you all? Yes.
Like that, get up.
I love it. So yeah, Kenny, what did you think about Sara when you first laid eyes on her?
Well, it was obvious that we were going to be paired up, so that was the first thing. So I was happy about that. It's like, okay, point for Mingo, all right. I found it very easy for her and I to just talk, while also being able to work, which I think also worked out on screen as well. But she just made it real easy, like super easy.
I love that. And Sara, what did you think about Kenny when you first saw him?
I genuinely was drawn directly to him as I walked up. I won't say it was no one else was there, but we definitely locked eyes. And
yeah, so you was that's my boo.
For the day, for sure.
Yeah.
For the day, for sure.
Hopefully for a lifetime, girl. We gonna get into it. So once you all got acquainted, was it instant chemistry? Because I know you all physically saw each other, but once you actually began to talk and dive more into each other, was it just instant?
Yeah, that's an easy question. I really like it when it's not, pulling teeth to talk to somebody. I don't really feel like conversations are hard, but, sometimes you've got to add a little grease to the conversation and whatnot to get it going. Mm-hmm. And for us, that was not a problem, whatsoever. So while taking direction and having to do what we had to do, I mean, honestly, we just felt like we was kicking it.
We really did. It was a great time. Like from the jump, we walked up, and I think we started talking as soon as we started shooting, and we continued. We didn't stop.
No.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love that. And we're going to get in some details about where you all currently are in your dating life. But what did you all feel about that? I mean, you didn't have to do too much work on that one.
Definitely didn't feel to. When I saw their pictures and got in contact with them when we were recruiting, I was like, these two are going to be a great match. I didn't know how far I was going to go, but, look at God.
And honestly, that was the first thing she said. And then when I saw them, the height, I said, yeah, that's it. They both are tall individuals. And then it was almost like we wasn't there. When we had them do a kissing scene, it was so natural. So I said, yeah, something's going to happen here. Yeah. And what was so crazy was I wanted him to be a contestant on the show.
Wow.
And it was like, oh, that's over.
Ask us, what do you think about kissing?
He did. I was like,
Yeah, we're good. Yeah,
we're
we'll
going to float a kiss? Is that something that you're open to? I'm like,
yeah.
Kenny was like, yeah, let's do it. I was like, all right. And we did. And then he was like, do it again. Do it again.
Oh, so you knew what you were doing.
I knew what
Why you keep making that face? Where did you come from?
Hey, I ain't got no words. I'm just enjoying the beautiful connection that happened, man. Hey, shout out to them.
He knew what he was doing. So I know that you have paired all of these people, well, put them in the room to be paired together. You didn't have any success with the other couples, but this one here, does this make it all worthwhile?
It makes it worthwhile. It really does.
So does this give you that motivation to say, hey, we're walking in our light. We're doing what we should be doing. Does this give you motivation for season 2?
Yes, it does. It makes me want to keep going. They're my inspiration.
Right.
I love
definitely
that.
should. You guys just organically put two people together. I think that's very dope. So
I love that. So talk about where we currently are. Is there wedding bells possibly in the future? Babies? Let's talk about it.
Hey, not too much. It's fresh.
She like slow down.
I know that I can confidently say that we are in a very, very good and progressive space. For sure. So it's like everything is a step forward for us. And we're to a point now where
you catch me off guard too.
we're both now more intentional.
I got a headache that's whooping my tail and them
flashes.
flashes.
At first it's like,
boy,
can we? And now it's beyond can we. It's like, okay, now how do we do this?
A disclaimer.
I can confidently say we're in a very good place.
I like that. Is there any steps that you all are taking to try and make sure that you're doing it right this time? Because obviously it hasn't worked out up until this point. So what are you doing personally in the relationship to make sure you're on track?
I think both of us are holding each other accountable for our own stuff. Like, if there's more that you need to do for yourself, or there are things that you need to change or improve or whatever, we're both holding each other accountable for those things. It's like you bring in your own responsibilities and the other person has to see that you'll actually take care of those responsibilities. So we're both holding each other accountable. We're both making sure that we're aware of what we're trying to do for ourselves and for each other. So I don't feel like we can be on the wrong page. I don't think so.
I think also recognizing the things that you needed to work on within yourself. Like, I'll just say making space has been a big deal for me in the past, but if I'm intentional about it, if you think about it, now I'm like, let me open this up a little bit more, or let me not do the same things that I did prior.
I like that. And intentional dating came up a lot because I think that's the biggest thing here. When you're dating, you have to be intentional to get somewhere positive. Do you have any final remarks to the couple or just in general about the show?
So I just want to say I'm open for songs. I could do a little me real quick if you need that, or do the Tootsie Roll down the aisle.
Step down the aisle.
Down the aisle is crazy work.
Oh my goodness, I love her, bro.
She's
my
funny.
favorite.
And when the wedding bells happen, we have a whole production team that can come out and shoot y'all wedding.
Yes.
And it'll be on me. It'll be on me as well.
Oh, that's so nice.
I love that. Well, hopefully we have
They
some.
look like, hold on. Let's talk about marriage now. Hold on. Hey, you cool. You cool. You cool.
Oh, you don't want to marry me?
You all right?
I'm gonna show you all
Like,
right.
I love what you can do. You cool.
Edit me out, fade me out.
Bells in the future, and kudos to you all, and good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck. Thank you. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Meet2Marry reunion show. We have made it to the end. We are here. So in this portion, these are just final remarks. We want to hear from the ladies and men if they have anything else to say before we get out of here. So for the ladies, I really just want to know, what are some things that you learned about yourself or that you would take from this experience?
So the show was amazing. And while we're all looking for love, it's so important while you're in your waiting season to continue to pour into yourself, continue to take care of yourself, exercise, diet, become the best person that you can be. So when you do find you're a person, you're ready. You don't have to catch up. If you are ready, you don't have to get ready. So I think that shone a light for me, and this was a blessing because it showed me that I had gotten too comfortable. And it was so important for me to get and capitalize on my single season and become the best version of myself.
Yes.
And that's it.
She talking that talk.
Listen, I be trying to tell people, single people, like, y'all really got it. Y'all really got it. To have all that time to yourself, to hone in on the things that you want to better about yourself and like skills and all that kind of stuff. Take advantage of that, because when you get another person, when you bring another person into your life, that takes up space. Now that other person is your obligation and your priority, aside from the other things that you prioritize. But really take advantage of being single. You really got it, easy right now.
No, yeah. 100%.
To not have to like kind of put all your time into another person, because that can be a lot.
When you're single, your focus is you. When you're in a
Yes.
relationship, your focus is your team.
Yes.
You and the other person.
Yes.
So I get what you're saying. Right now is the perfect time to better yourself, get your ducks in a row, really build yourself up, make yourself the best version of yourself.
Mhm.
Because a lot of people, they choose to get in a relationship and they wait until their relationship starts becoming unhappy to be like, now is the time to better myself.
Yeah, and then people get into relationships and they don't know about themselves. They don't know themselves fully yet. And then when you get into a relationship with somebody and you don't know yourself, when you and that person break up, a part of yourself just left because you built all of who you are with this person. So, take your time. Don't be ashamed of being single. Have fun with it and just take your time.
I love that. And then, is there any specific questions that you may start asking men going forward on your dating journey? Erica?
Well, I would say maybe I would inquire more, like when they do say they have kids. I think one of the things that I kind of learned from this is like asking about those relationships, like with like the father and like the mother, like how are you nurturing that? Like, and it was on somebody's episode, but they asked like, what do you want to see like your child see in the partner that you're choosing? So like those questions, like y'all.
Yeah, for
Definitely
sure.
did that,
And
for
before
sure.
I get to these good-looking gentlemen behind me, is there anyone other than the individuals that were on your episodes that you may have your eye on, or potential daters?
This is a setup because nobody's gonna actually say it.
Yeah.
Anybody want to disclose? No, go ahead. This may be your opportunity.
That's all I got.
All right, absolutely. Well, thank you, ladies. So for the men, I do want to know if there is anything that you would have done differently. I know that some of you had the power to choose and some of you did not choose any of the lovely ladies. So if you had a chance to do it again, would you choose differently? Would you think differently? Talk about that.
Oh, I answered that question on my segment.
Oh.
I wasn't really main contestant choosing. So I mean, I can't really tell you what I would do different. But I might spin the block.
Okay. So
You like
as far
Erica.
as any advice to yourself, what would you give yourself if you had to look on this screen again, go back through your segment? What would you tell yourself?
They focus right on.
You looking right at me. You got it?
Well, if I go back and look at my segment, I'd probably tell myself to like slow down with my talking. You know, not saying I was asking bad questions or anything like that, but I was rumbling over my words because I was speaking too fast.
Yeah.
And, you know, so just be more calm and collected.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And is there any final remarks that you would like to say to any of the women? Any apologies or any, are you shooting your shot at anybody? What would that look like?
I'll go. I'll just say, you know, I had Shay, and I'll just say thank you for choosing me. And even though it didn't work out, like I do believe that you can still meet great people through this process. And I enjoyed my time, and we had a lot of laughs together. And we understand that sometimes you could be good people, but maybe it's just not the right timing, or you're just not good for one another for whatever that may be. So enjoy the process.
Yes. And do you really feel like men and women can genuinely be friends outside of actually dating? Is that...
I think it depends, especially like I would say for this show, and I think I did say to the ladies, I'm not looking for friends on this intentional journey. It's nice that you all have created these relationships outside, but if we're looking for something, we're looking in, as we're staying consistent in work and gym, stay consistent in this journey. Because, you know, you create these guy friends and then they become brothers, and I've always wanted a brother, and, you know, but it could be, Mufasa, but, it could be that they were actually forming into something, and now we put them into a space of now their family. But I would say, you know, I look at all of you, everybody's beautiful. We've got enough friends. Let's find love.
That part.
Thank you. I love that. Are you open to still finding love? And Charles, what are some of your last remarks?
Well, some of my last remarks is let's take it easy with the red flags. Like everything is a red flag, so you don't get a chance to know anybody. And nobody in this world is perfect. Even the people that's on social media, the celebrities, like Ben and Jen, they got married. They're millionaires. You would think they had a perfect life, but they end up getting divorced. So life isn't perfect. People aren't perfect. So kind of slow down with the red flags.
Does anybody else have any final remarks or anything that they would like to say?
I would just say to the ladies to be more open-minded, because you never know what might be sitting right in front of you. That's all
I like that. It sounds like you said that with your chest. It sounds like you said that with your chest. Were you intending?
He said since y'all trying to be so intentional.
Okay.
I will agree with you. I just said to Erica, we have to be open-minded. And men look at women on a physical aspect. Women, we look a little deeper. And there are times I told her I'd talk to a short...
Do we? I don't know, bro, because I hear a lot of the superficial stuff that a lot of the... Well, I can only speak from what I've seen on these shows. Yeah. Okay? Let me backtrack, because I know there's going to be somebody trying to G-check me, like, KiteZz, you... I get it. My fault, twin. On the shows that I've watched or reacted to on this channel, I see women rejecting men for a lot more superficial reasons than actual important traits that matter.
Yeah. And a lot of times, when you tell for me personally, when you tell a woman to be open-minded, for some reason they take that as settling.
Yep.
And it's kind of irritating and frustrating, because like you should be open-minded. You should want to like get to know people beyond the surface level of what you see, because there's more to a person than meets the eye. So it's just, you should be open-minded.
One thing I can say for the guys that we've seen on this show, the guys operate very hive-minded. What other men say is how they're gonna do it. So if a man harps on a platform, we not doing women that don't do dresses that go 4 inches above their knees. Like if a dude said that on a podcast, you're gonna hear that on every show for until somebody else says something.
Oh, yeah.
So the men are very hive-minded on these shows. But the women are very like, they're like pump fake intentional. Like they come on and they say a lot of good things, a lot of sweet things like, oh, I'm really ready to settle down. I'm really looking for a guy that really like blah, blah, blah. I'm really tired of the dating game. I'm ready to just be a wife. I'm ready to do this. They do that. And then when we look at their pages, when we look at their lifestyle, when we actually look at their decision making, it comes off the point of like, you just said it just to say it. Reality is you didn't give a crap about none of that. And it can go vice versa. That's why I say it really is both of y'all. It's really men and women. Truthfully, y'all are really the reason why this dating thing doesn't work. I feel like both sides refuse to take accountability, because if you call out one side, everybody and their mama got an excuse for it. If you call out men, every man on the planet got an excuse for why men do what they do, even though we know it's destructive.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people's preferences and types and like judgments of things, they're not their own. They're like a combination of other people's likes and dislikes. And you know, you got a homegirl like, ooh, girl, I went out with this dude and he came up and picked me up in a Toyota. This da 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 da. And now, okay, that's
every man who got a Toyota is a red flag.
Yep. Or so and so, yeah, she got 2 kids. Yeah, I'm not dealing with that. Da 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 da.
Every woman that got kids. Yep. That's what I'm saying. Y'all operate off of hive mind.
King, but what he was doing was making him look very tall, and the height kind of separated. There may be a gentleman that is kind of heavy set for some women, but probably he needs the woman to get him together. So we have to be open. I think that's what we have to work on ourselves as women, because we are superficial as the men. The men are no better. We aren't any better than the men. So I think as working on ourselves, to ask God to reveal something different. Yes. Don't send me the 6 foot this. Send me something different. And if we want these lasting relationships, they're not going to look like what you think. Right. It would be, I wasn't even thinking it was him. And lo and behold, you can't get away from him.
Right.
So I think
right. Enough said.
And I'll just say this to your point, and I'll be quiet. But men don't just look at the physical, right? That gets you the interview. That doesn't get you the job. Your personality, your heart, the things that we all look for, that's the job.
I like that. So what do you all?
Y'all got a lot of temporary positions then.
Hold on. Did you hear that? Watch this. She just gave that whole little speech, right? Watch this.
Physical, right? That gets you the interview. That doesn't get you the job. Your personality, your heart, the things that we all look for, that's the job.
I like that. So what do you all?
You see what I'm saying? Sure.
Yeah, a lot of y'all got a lot of temporary positions.
That's why
men and women.
That goes back to my point of like, we say a lot, but it be hot air. Because he didn't even go against your point. He was just saying like, hey, men take that physical. Yeah, it is important, but that's not the thing that solidifies it. And your response is sure. Like, okay. It's like, that's what we talk about.
Well, what are you all looking for?
I'll let somebody else
ask. What are you looking for? I think it really is. Men think differently. Yes. Men think with 2 heads.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
But I wanted you to be
get too deep
because
we need to have after show.
Yeah, I think everybody's looking for something different. You know, we all raised differently, right? So, I mean, if in generality, we're looking for love, just like women are as well. We're looking for partnership. I think that we all have, different ways we were raised and what we want. But at the end of the day, we want a family unit or somebody we can trust on, lean into, somebody that pours into us as well as we pour into you. You can't pour from an empty cup. So again, it's not a battle. It shouldn't feel like that. It's not us versus you. We're in this together. And as long as we work for, that goal together, I don't see what the problem is. So.
Right.
I think you should be very, very careful in terms of filling cups. Your cup should be full before.
You see how the men are trying to say, hey, let's dial it back. preference, the same things y'all been pushing on social media, preference, all that. Okay, we all want the same thing. We want marriage. Dial it back a little bit. And then the women are just kind of like flipping it back to, well, you need to be careful. You need to say this. Well, men think with two heads. Well, it's like, this is what I be talking about. It's like, if the dudes start saying, a lot of these guys right now, this face expression, he got something to say. Mm-hmm. He got something to say. He been having something to say this whole time, and he hasn't said it. He knows he can clap back with this. This is what I be talking about in these spaces. Like, this goes back to when I said in the reaction, if men start responding and giving that like tenacity back, what happens? Because this whole thing is like, she says something, he's like, okay, cool. You get what I'm saying?
I just think in spaces like this, there's just bias in conversation because a lot of women feel like men don't understand where they're coming from. And quite literally, two things can be true at the same time. They're saying the exact same thing, but he's saying it in menese and she's saying it in womanese. And it's just not, it's not correlating for some reason. But I understand what he's saying, but I do think it is dangerous as women when men do finally have the space in the ground to open up and give their point of view and like say like, this is what men think about, this is how men feel, this is what men look for in women. And for us to turn around and say, no, y'all don't, no, y'all don't, no, y'all don't, no, y'all don't, just because the majority of men that you've encountered have done this does not mean it speaks for men as a whole. Same thing with the men. Just because you've encountered women that act like this, it doesn't speak for the whole women as a whole. So yeah, it kind of gets monotonous and like kind of annoying trying to have conversations like this. And this is why a lot of times we can't see eye to eye because we're constantly saying like, well, no, y'all don't. Y'all think with two heads, that and the third, this and blah blah blah. But like,
I think this is the same way I felt about that interview with Charleston White and that one lady, and she was basically trying to tell Charles like speak like men do this, men operate this. This is how men work, and Charleston White was like you can't talk and say this is how men operate and how men work, and you're not a man. And she was like, well, I study men. He said, yeah. There's a lot of coaches who study the game, but they have never played, so they can't tell the player how it feels. Right. And that goes from men speaking on women too. Yeah. I'm not being biased with this. I'm saying in general.
Yeah. Together, I don't see what the problem is. So
I think you should be very, very careful in terms of filling cups. Your cup should be full before you try to seek somebody to fill it. Because if I come whole and complete,
then why do you need somebody if your cup's already full?
You see, that's what I'm saying. Why do you want blessings from God if your cup is already full that you filled yourself? Don't ask God for anything then. Don't ask God for a husband. Don't ask God for a wife if your cup is already full. He's not going to send you anybody. That's what I'm saying. He just said, we all want somebody to fill the cup, right? I can't pour into you if my cup is empty. But I need you to pour into me as well. So y'all cups are not full. You can pour, he can pour. You can pour, he can pour. But then you just told him, be careful. I feel like you should have a full cup before. It's like, then what does he need you for if his cup is full?
Before, very, very careful in terms of filling cups. Your cup should be full before you try to seek somebody to fill it. Because if I come whole and complete.
If it's full, how is it getting filled? If it's full.
They're filling it themselves.
Huh?
They're filling it themselves. So like your cup is already full. Technically, by that logic, you don't need anybody to fill your cup.
But that's what I'm saying. So why would I need to be like, I get what she's trying to say, but by trying to make it overly sound deep, it sounds dumb. Yeah. Because if I'm a man and I'm looking for somebody to pour into me, and I come to you with a full cup, that means when you pour into me, it's just going to overflow and run out. And so there's no point of...
And you're still broken. And the pieces of me that are healed can absolutely heal the pieces of you that are broken. You're breaking me in the process while I'm building you. So
I absolutely
you need
agree.
to be very careful with that.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that you should even probably put yourself in a position to date if you're not in a position to date. So again, self-reflection, right? Look at yourself, see where you're at, and then see what somebody can pour into you, right? But making sure that you guys aren't depleting each other's cup, right?
And then also be careful with how many cups you're pouring into.
Wait, who got a cabinet full of cups?
I think you should pour into cups.
I'm sorry,
I
say
think
that
you
again.
should date. I don't think there should we have a thing where I'm dating and that's it. I only see Charles. But we are single. And biblically it says until you're married, you are off the market. You know, so if you are dating, you're dating. This process we chose from 3 men, not one man, 3 women, not one woman.
Right.
Now what you were saying, Chris, it sounds good. These all sound like cliche phrases. But when you're in the midst of it and in the real life, it's just a little different. And like I was just reversing back to the attraction, and that's the makeup of a man and a woman.
Mm-hmm.
We're different. You know, a woman, I work in health.
Would the phrase be cliche? If a woman would have said the phrase,
that's what I'm saying, bro. This whole conversation.
What was it? What was?
I believe that. Okay, remember in like the early 2000s where people kept saying like men try to mansplain.
Yes.
I think femsplain is a real thing.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
What applies to men can potentially apply to women. So yeah.
Because this whole conversation started off really good. And I'm not trying to, I hate the internet because even with me trying to say what the reality of this conversation is, there's going to be people offended at the fact that, bro, this conversation was very simple. The women overcomplicated this conversation. They're trying to sound deeper than what it is, and it's making it sound really stupid.
Let's not my whole thing is this. Let's not all try to coach each other on this, that, and the third, and we're all in the same situation on the couch.
How about we get some married people or some people in relationship perspective in this conversation?
They don't be wanting their perspective because they're married. So it's just like
this is just
people that are married don't understand what people that are currently single are going through.
This is broken people trying to convince broken people the correct way to unbroken, but they're also still broken. Don't pour into people unless your cup's full. No, you should pour into people unless your cup's full. Well, if I'm the piece that's supposed to fix you, that means I have to break a piece of myself. Some people need people to give them pieces so they can fix themselves. It's like y'all are
overcompensating.
Yeah, it's just
the
like
conversation. It's yeah.
If you guys' objective is to become one whole thing, and I take a piece of me and I give it to Alex to fix a part that's her broken, I'm not suddenly broken. We're building something together. Mm-hmm. If I have wood and she has stone, and my foundation is weak, so I need stone, and she has it, her giving me the stone doesn't suddenly mean that she's lacking. She just invested into me. So now she's a part of the foundation I'm building. Y'all be trying to sound so intellectual and it just be like,
Care. So the questions I may ask will ask, what's your medical history? I ask medical history. I need to know if we have a sickle cell trait or blood pressure. I'm sorry, I do ask these questions.
Right.
Yeah, so that's that. But carry on.
Yeah, and before we get out of here, did you have something?
I just want to encourage everyone because we only need one. When we're out here looking for love, we got to date. We got to see what we like, what we don't like, what we mesh with, what we align with, how we flow. You only need one. And I feel like there's somebody out there for each one of us sitting out here today. We all look beautiful. We all look great. We only need one. So we all going to be all right.
And I want to say one thing. I agree with what is your name again? Your name? Ampia. I love what she said because I've noticed that a lot of times I lose out on opportunities because I'm outgoing. Sometimes I meet you for a business reason. Sometimes I meet you and it start off as business and we might flourish. But I think it's important to know when you're dating, you should be able to have a few people that you can court. Could I even heard from
Sydney, shut up! You shouldn't be courting multiple people.
Courting is with the intentions of marriage.
You shouldn't be. people shouldn't be in the marriage contention. You shouldn't have multiple people in
This is
contention
not
for
The Bachelor
marriage.
or The Bachelorette or Love is Blind.
This goes back to what I said about the dating thing. This is why I disconnect when people say, "Oh, you're supposed to date multiple people." You're data collecting multiple people.
No. Now, I think if you end up dating like having a long-term relationship, as long-term as in like maybe a year or two, and it doesn't work out and you take a break and then you go back into the dating field again and you start dating again, I think that's fine, as in like that. But dating multiple people at once,
You shouldn't be courting multiple people. And this is coming from married people. We're married people saying this. So if you don't like it, but you're also single, then hey, different results. I'm just telling you what works. And people can say what works for some may work for others. Yeah, but this is a very big difference of what works for some. Like, we're telling you what works. Because we're telling you what works as living evidence of it working.
we're about to be 8 years married.
We're telling you what works from people that actually it works. But y'all, I don't know. Y'all would rather listen to single people tell y'all how to function being single instead of listening to married people tell you the stuff you need to learn so that you can properly find somebody to get married to.
I think the problem is, a lot of times, like, we tend to pander towards each other's like preferences, emotions, and feelings and stuff like that, and we're not being honest or straight up with people about how like the real world works and how relationships actually work. And just to say because we're married, it doesn't mean that we know everything, because marriage is still a learning process regardless of how long you've been with a person. But it's just, I feel like people promote the toxic and unhealthy versions of trying to date, and it's just being spread all over.
Don't take advice on how to get to level 3 from somebody who's still on level 1.
Right.
Because if they're only at level 1 and they've never progressed to 2 or 3, why are they able to give you the playthrough on how to get to level 3?
Mm-hmm.
If they're so confident that this is the method to level 3, they would have already been at level 3.
Right.
Now, if they have the information to get at level 3 and they're willingly not using it and they're staying at level 1, then you need to question that person in general, because why are you intentionally denying yourself success?
Or growth or progress.
For myself, I heard you try to talk to someone else. Okay, and I'm dating. So I think that don't lose out on opportunities because you heard a man was trying to converse with someone else. That's what we do. We hunters. We believe in ourselves, and at the same time.
So if I see you at a dinner date in a restaurant and you're sitting with a woman and you guys are on a date, but I'm interested in you, just because I saw you having dinner and you guys were having a date, I should still shoot my shot at you? If I see you at an amusement park and you're hugged up with a chick, but you're just dating, I should still shoot my shot? No, I'm just asking. That's what he just said.
Yeah.
If you tell me I'm dating Kimberly, if you and Kimberly are just dating, that means I'm able to shoot my shot at Kimberly too?
Yes.
Because you're just dating? So we can both date Kimberly.
Yes.
All right, bro. This is why God had order. The devil done got y'all stuck on stupid.
When it gets serious, then he should kind of wean down and just basically focus on that one special person if they both make that commitment. But I think it's important to
So what is the difference? What is the difference between somebody saying I have a roster and somebody saying I'm dating multiple people? What is the real difference?
There's no difference. It's just, no, there is no difference. A roster sounds more vulgar, like you just smashed in a whole bunch of
But it's the same thing?
But it's the same thing. It's the same thing. But dating could be the same thing too.
What is the real difference between somebody saying, "Oh, you have hoes," or "I'm just dating multiple women"? What is the difference? We just man.
Kind of open that door, women included. Don't seclude just to one man until you realize, he's the one that's putting in the work.
Right. Well, thank you.
So until you find the man that is going to put in the work, don't isolate yourself with just one man. Go out and interact with multiple men.
This is why y'all be having all these different personalities and all this other
This is why y'all be hearing chicks talking about, oh, this wasn't my guy. You was just a trick.
Yeah.
Get me off this video. I'm tired of single people, bro. I'm sorry, single people that listen to single people. I'm tired of y'all. Single people that actually are serious about this and that actually like doing the right thing, like going to people who are in committed relationships to understand it, you're good. But if this is your mindset of I need to date multiple people until I find the one but I'm gonna date multiple people at the same time, and you don't see the flaw or the problem with that logic, then me and you we can never have that conversation.
It's kind of like when you go taste testing, like for a cake.
Yeah.
Like, because you don't know which one you want to choose, you just decide to eat all
the
of
cake.
Them, and then by the time it's time for you to finally make your decision, you're full. You don't want
no cake at all.
Nothing.
You came in there saying, I want a strawberry cake, but I'm gonna try a little vanilla, try that coconut, I'm gonna try that red velvet, I'm gonna try a little bit of that ice cream, I'm gonna try this one, oh, I'm gonna try that one, I'm gonna try that one. Man, none of these cakes was doing it for me.
You came in there
I'm
with
not
the
hungry no
intentions of
more.
a strawberry cake.
And the strawberry cake never got touched.
Nope.
You touched everything else, and then I'm just waiting for the strawberry cake to come correct. So I'm gonna try all the other cakes. That's what that sounds like. It's dumb, bro. All right, y'all. Peace.
Bye.